I'm a bit of a control freak when it comes to my music, but I'm also indecisive. It's a bad combination, but I've got the cure right here. It's a prescription for chaos. In case you're new to this, it's very simple. I write a song where the dice make all the decisions for me. This is my dice tray. His name is Andrew. Andrew Dice Tray. We have to roll for a few things up front. First thing is the key of the song. I'm gonna roll a D12. 1, key of C, all right. Now the tempo, I'm gonna roll these and then add 100. 85, 185. That's a respectable ass tempo. Here's a list of some of my guitars. Let's see which one I'm actually gonna be playing. Number 8, the Balaguer Archetype Baritone. For drums, we're using the Extinction Level Event kit from Spectre Digital, and we're gonna be rolling for some grooves. Here there are 6 packs. So for our chorus, we're gonna be pulling from number 3. We've got 4 kind of subgenre grooves here: gent metalcore, new metal, thrash metal. We've got 4 thrash metal. 3 thrash grooves, 2. Our chorus groove will be number 3. Okay, honestly, I don't super love it, but that's part of the challenge, is to turn this into something I do like. So now we gotta roll for which libraries I'm gonna be using for each type of instrument. For example, strings, the horns, the winds, the percussion, the choir, the keys, orchestral tools, IK Multimedia, native instruments, sound iron, Spitfire, East West. And then if I roll a 7, I have to use a freebie, which is a free sample library from any company. And I have a ton of freebies that I've been using recently because I just put out a course called Creating Symphonic Metal with Free VSTs, which you can find out more about at the link in the description. Now, if I roll an 8, that means that I can't use the type of instrument that I was rolling for, and instead, I have to use something off of the wild card list, which is a bunch of the weird and esoteric virtual instruments that I have collected over the years. I'm a little scared to roll an 8, but at the same time, I kind of want to. Horns for the chorus. 1, orchestral tools. I'll take that. Strings, also orchestral tools. Winds, sound iron, percussion, sound iron as well. Choir, Spitfire, Spitfire choir. Keys, East West. I'm gonna try something kind of wacky for the guitar riff for the chorus, the rhythm part of it. You can break basically any rhythm up into smaller chunks of 2s, 3s, 4s, etc. So I am going to roll the D4 until I've got a total of 16, and then it will be broken up that way, if that makes sense. So here we go. 2, 3. Yeah. 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3. Is that up to 16? This is what I'm talking about, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm gonna roll the D8 to determine the chord progression. 6 chord. G sharp. 7 chord. Iron Maiden is calling me. 7 again. Oh shit! That's the chaos alarm, which means that I just rolled 3 in a row of something, and now I have to go shoot the cans of chaos. It says pick 1. You must add 1 bar of 7/8 to this section. You must write the guitar part for this section playing left-handed, or this section can only use sounds from the wildcard list. Okay. Well, since there is more or less a 0% chance that I'm gonna be able to play guitar left-handed, it's kind of a non-choice. I can't have the chorus be only sounds from the wildcard list. That will be a disaster. So I am gonna put a bar of 7/8 in the chorus. I don't know where. I think I'm gonna wait until I actually write some music to decide where it's gonna go, because right now all I have is a drum beat. 2 chord. 4. I do also have a rhythm for the guitar. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ho, 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 ho. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Can we talk about how fucking good that sounds? Just from those guitar chords, I'm not getting anything. I feel 0 inspiration so far. So I think if I layer some choir on top to just get the basic chords down, that might give me a little bit more something to work off of, you know? So I rolled for Spitfire choir, of which I have 2. So I am going to flip this very shiny 1977 silver dollar to decide. We've got Epic Choir and Eric Whitaker Choir. Let's do heads for the Epic Choir, which is the one that I'm actually kind of hoping for. Oh, it's tails. But I love epic choirs. I was just writing in my diary the other day about how much I love epic choirs. Damn it! I know, really boring. I promise I'm gonna make these more interesting. You may have noticed this beastly piece of equipment taking over my desk today. My friends at Sweetwater were kind enough to send over this Osmos from Expressive E to use to input the parts that I'm composing. It's both an MPE MIDI controller and an extremely powerful synthesizer that can do some truly wild shit. Ready for this? You can wiggle the notes! Whew! Clearly a rabbit hole and a half in itself. I'm very excited to try this out, so thanks to them for sponsoring this video. I wonder if for the vocal melody, we could keep that 2-3-2-3-3-3 phrasing. One way to find out. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. I'm just gonna leave those lyrics. Now I've got a little bit of a melody to go around the chords. I think I know where I want the 7/8 to go. Fuck Prague. All my homies hate Prague. 4 life. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. Prague. Let's write some string parts. Now I'm gonna roll for what articulations I can use. Am I really gonna do that? Am I really not gonna let myself decide what articulations to use? I'm gonna choose 4 just to increase the odds that I'll get some good stuff and not just garbage. Here we go. 15, glissandi up. Like horrorizers. I mean, it's cool, but like, what am I gonna do with that? 16? Glissandi cluster. No, fuck you. This is like the same thing, but less useful. That's how I feel right now. Do better. 11, crescendo long unison. Please roll a 1. Please, for the love of fucking God, roll a 1. 8. Spiccato blurred? This is just gonna be horror music. What am I supposed to do with that? All right, let's write some proper choir parts. You didn't think we were just gonna leave it as sustained chords, did you? Come on. I want the choir to hit in the space in between the melody, so it's like dun dun ah, dun 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 ah, dun 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 ah. Now it's time to experience the majesty of French horns from Tom Holkenborg's brass from Orchestral Tools. I'm only gonna drop it on the second half of the chorus because we need something to kick it up a notch, right? Chimbassi. Whew. Let's move on to the verse. Let's roll for the instruments. 3, horns is gonna be native instruments. Strings, 4, sound iron, winds, Spitfire, percussion. 8! Oh no. Wild card! First wild card. So that means that I gotta go to the wild card menu. What wild card is it gonna be? 1, blank forms tape synth. That's a really weird one. All right, now the choir for the verse, native instruments again. They got a good choir. And now keys for the verse, 8. Wild card! No! Son of a bitch. We rolled the wild card twice. Our second wild card will be, for the first verse, 19 didgeridoos. God damn it. Why did I do this to myself? Didgeridoos. You know I love ripping dig. Doesn't sound at all like somebody spitting directly into your ear. All right, rolling for verse grooves. Here we go. Metal Essentials, Volume 1. Death metal, power metal, progressive metal. I'm gonna roll a D6 again because there's 3 of them, so it's 1 and 2 is 1, 3 and 4 is 2, right, etc. 2, power metal. Okay, I'll just roll the D20. 11. That's proper ass power metal. So we've got ourselves a hell of a barn burner here for the verse, but I want to zhuzh up the fills a little bit, so of course we got to roll for that. Need one more. I also changed up the drum sound a little bit. I like this better. Anything on the guitar that's in a key that's on the 1st fret is gonna be a pain in the ass to write with, but I'm gonna use it to my advantage. I think a little bit of Castlevania really fits this chasing a witch through the woods type of beat, but also I gotta tray it up, you know? For a second half variation, I'm gonna try palm muting it. Jazz! So I rolled for Spitfire Audio wins. I'm gonna start with a flute. A little flute run. Double that up on the piccolo. And then because the more the merrier, we're gonna do the same thing on some strings. We've got the Hyperion strings from Sound Iron. I love the Sound Iron contrabass so much. It's just so mean. I use this shit on everything. It just makes it sound fast. So you're probably thinking, Trey, what the hell are you gonna do with didgeridoos in a metal song? It is not what you would call a melodic instrument. This one's silent. It sounds cool. Incredibly unique instrument. When I try to put it over metal, it mostly just sounds like noise, so I had to get creative. I'm gonna do something with the didgeridoo that you cannot didgeridoo with a real one. We're working with virtual instruments here, right? These don't have to be realistic. This is the final product. So in this library, they have a really handy feature where you can pick one of the samples and then pitch stretch it to make it more like a melodic instrument. And then I put a bunch of effects on it. And I did some cool shit. You know I love ripping dig. It's a very unique sound, and it's not the only one I got. Sounds like Vegemite. This is an unholy abomination against Australia, and I'm so sorry. Stop. Trey, please fucking stop. Add an octave down to thicken it up a little bit. Turned out to be really cool and unique. And I would not have done this of my own free will. The other challenge was to use this Tape Synth's Blank Forms from Spitfire. Basically, none of it is what you might call usable for this style of music, although that's what I said about the didgeridoo too. So, but I settled on this one. It's not exactly gonna cut through the mix. I have been wanting to try this choir Omnia from Native Instruments for a while, and I suspect that it is going to sound very cool doubling up this part. I'm sorry, real quick. Can we talk about what is going on here? Somebody knew what they were doing. I spent many years singing in choirs. Never encountered anything quite like that before. For keys on the chorus, I rolled for East-West. Now, I use the East-West Composer Cloud all the time. I think if you are new to this and you don't want to buy a bunch of libraries, maybe you don't know at all what you need, signing up for the Composer Cloud for 20 bucks a month is definitely the way to go because you get tons and tons and tons of libraries all included. You can download everything that they've ever made. But I wouldn't really think of them as being known for like their keyboard libraries, but they do have this pretty awesome synth one called Forbidden Planet. To me, symphonic metal is more like cinematic movie soundtrack metal because it's the nexus point between these three things: orchestral music, synthesizers, and metal. And the only other place that you really hear that is in movie and video game soundtracks. And to me, as a maximalist, that is just where it's at. I think that fills it out in a nice, exciting way. It's not too obtrusive. If that feels like it's sticking out too much, I could also bump them down an octave. Or my other favorite technique, I did a whole video about this, basically changing the inversion by just grabbing the top note or two and bumping it down an octave. You can kind of leapfrog it. These are all the libraries that you get in the Composer Cloud. There's so many of them. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link in the description. So I found a really good use for that blurred spiccato that I was like, what am I ever going to use this for? These really fast runs like this. Works really good. Also, if you like this kind of stuff, you might actually like my band In Virtue. I'll just put the link right here if you want to check it out. So right now, we just have this big hole where the pre-chorus is supposed to be. So that means that we need to do some rolling horns. Freebie, strings, native instruments, winds, 8, wild card again. I should have gotten one more just to have a nice, neat 20, but oh well. Chaos, Gjallarhorn. I don't even remember really what that is, but I guess I have it. Percussion, Spitfire, choir, east-west, and last but not least, the keys. IK Multimedia, Sample Tank, very underrated. Pre-chorus drum groove, Spectre Digital Savage Grooves Pack, 10 out of 20, 13, 1. All right. I like it because it's different from the verse and the chorus. Usually in your pre-chorus, you want to contrast against the part that comes before and after. You know, when I rolled IK Multimedia, I immediately thought Sample Tank, and I somehow completely forgot about their Hammond plugin, which is amazing. So I am definitely gonna use that. I love the sound of a Hammond. Oh, that sounds so good. I want some spicy chords in this here pre-chorus. A little bit spicy. It's a little boring. I might spice it up with some like arpeggiation. Problem with the Hammond is like the same problem as the guitar, which is that if you have too many notes going on at the same time, it turns into a mushy mess like a paper straw in a milkshake. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give this part to a different instrument. Luckily, we have so many to choose from. I'm gonna use a different instrument. I'm gonna use the Stradivari violin. Kinda sounds like Kansas, right? You guys don't listen to Kansas. Now it's time to add the kind of staccato chugging that I definitely would have done in my high school metalcore band. Oh yeah. So I rolled for the wild card called Gjallarhorn, which is a free library that I discovered on Piano Book. I wanted like Uruk-hai war horns. I was like, oh, this looks kind of sick. And now I have to put it in my pre-chorus. I think it could work almost like a riser if I can find a sample that doesn't suck. Okay, I may have found one that's gonna work. I might have to pitch. It's just a touch sharp. With a little bit of tweaking of both the pitch and the tone, I managed to make it sound a lot less like a fart. Actually works reasonably well as like a little riser. So I rolled for a freebie for horns for the pre-chorus. This is possibly my favorite freebie. This is from Project Sam, the free orchestra. It's just called Tutti Crescendo. And it will take you from wherever you are to wherever you want to go. And we're gonna use it to take us from the pre-chorus into the chorus. Let's see what the bridge has in store for us. For the horns, sound iron, strings, 3 native instruments, winds, IK, percussion, Spitfire, choir, Spitfire, keys, sound iron. This has been a pretty good spread so far, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. The dice decide our fate. All right, bridge, drum groove, Spectre Digital Grooves, Volume 1. Not really the most imaginative name. And then we've got 5 different folders. Tom Grooves. Does Tom groove? 4. That feels bridgy to me. I dubbed this groove Nash Bridges. Now a really important one that I probably should have rolled for sooner, and that is the topic of the song. So I asked you guys in my Discord for some ideas for topics, and I got some pretty good ones. So I'm gonna roll a D10 to decide which of these topics I'm gonna write my song about, and whoever's topic I choose is gonna win a copy of my new course, which is called Making Symphonic Metal with Free VSTs. So good luck. 3, Aviende, the burden of growing up with an idealistic version of adulting and realizing it is not freedom, but the crushing weight of responsibility. Honestly, if you can't write songs about your childhood, you might not really have anything to write about. Like, I had a pretty good, stable childhood, and I still have a ton that I could write about. In my lyrics course, I talk about word dumps, which is the easiest way to start writing a song if you aren't working off of some particular inspiration. So I'm just gonna write down a bunch of words that are related to the topic. I went in with this word burden, and that was the entrance to the rabbit hole. Weight, crushing, millstone, laden, and then antonyms like light and feather. What is lightness and weight? It's the effect of gravity, and one of the synonyms for millstone is an albatross. It means that you're sort of haunted by this heavy thing that you're carrying. Like, well, what other kinds of birds can we work into this? And this idea of a feather kept coming back. People say like as light as a feather. And the word that I eventually was led to was the word featherweight, which is a fantastic word. And that's when I knew I really had something. Featherweight.
Burden, you learn to bear the featherweight, the featherweight.
We think of birds as being really free.
Soaring, loosened from your moorings, hero of the songs and stories.
But they also can't really do anything, right?
Circling, the birds can feel the featherweight, the featherweight.
What children actually want when they say they want to grow up is autonomy to do things that they want to do. As adults, of course, we want the opposite. We want that lack of responsibility because we just want to be able to do the things that we want to do and not have to worry about it.
Haunted by the constancy of gravity.
So in a way, adults and children are jealous of each other for having that thing that the other one doesn't. And so I sort of imagined a bird looking down on someone from above and wishing that they had hands to do stuff with. And then a person with those hands, like working, able to do stuff with it, looking up at the bird, wishing that they could be that free. I have come to the conclusion that we need a gigantic, nasty riff that comes right after the chorus. Oh yes, that'll do. I desperately want to turn that post-chorus riff into a nasty breakdown for the ending, and I am going to drop the tempo, but I'm going to show you this thing that I do basically anytime I want to do a tempo change like this. So here's where the breakdown's going to go. I'm going to go to the measure before that, and I'm going to change the tempo there first. I'm going to drop it like halfway to where I want it to go. 10 BPM both times. 170, and then 160. For the chorus, I rolled sound iron for the percussion, and they have this awesome apocalypse percussion ensemble. Sounds like an epic trailer. This summer, the world is his dice tray. He is Andrew Dice Tray. A nice clack. Sound iron also has this ancient Greek percussion that has a cool little something called a kimbalon. This Temple Drums from Sound Iron has an amazing little gong thing. It's this one. We've got these Noah bells. They're adorable. Just like Chef Trey over here, like, needs a little of this, a little of that, a little shake. Let's listen to just these layers of percussion all by themselves. Even when it's orchestral percussion, it can make you want to dance. Oh, Trey, what are you ever gonna use a glissandi up horrorizer sound for? This is what. Woo! Right into the drop. I think I might just not show you my process for writing the bridge, you know? You can hear it when you hear the final product. Always leave them wanting more. Don't forget, if you want to learn how to do all of this stuff, you're going to want to check out my brand new course. It's called Making Symphonic Metal with Free VSTs. You can get that at the link in the description for a discount for a limited time. Right now, I'm going to take this song, I'm going to finish it up, polish it off, get it out to my collaborators. They'll get their parts on it, and then I'm going to release it. Real quick, I am checking in from the editing room to let you know that I got the parts from my collaborators, and they're so good. My buddy Rachl, Raxx, Quinn from the band Graveshadow is doing the female vocal part, and she knocked it out of the park. And then Andy Gillion ripped the sickest solo on this song. In case you didn't know, Andy recently put out a really, really great solo album where he also does vocals, and it's melodic death metal with his amazing shred skills. I was extremely happy with how the writing of the song went, but it's the performance that brings it together. Huge thanks to all of my collaborators for making this sick, including Alex Nazla with the White Hot Fire mix. Now you're gonna get to go listen to it right now, so let's go back into it. But because you're watching this in the future, it's already out, which means that you get to watch it and listen to it right here. And you can stream it on Spotify and all that. I'll put the link in the description. Stay squishy.